Hello, and welcome back to me talking. It's the end of September. It's finished. I've gotten a year older. I've finally got around to playing God of War 2018, started Tales of Rise, and there was one other thing that I did. Oh, yeah, that's right. I read manga, because this is a manga log where I tell you what I read in the month of September. Well, any month, actually. That's just how manga logs work. But for this one, it's the manga log of September 2021. So, yeah. All in all, it was a good month. I hoped everyone had a very safe month. No one got into too much trouble with the law. No, I'm just fucking with you. So, yeah. It was a good month for reading manga and in general life. So, there's that. But you're not caring about my life and all that I've done. You're caring about what I read this month. And I read a bit more. Compared to last month, I've read a good more chunk. A solid couple more. That's just how it works. Anyways, the month of September, I have read the following. 45 volumes of manga. 0 comics, of course. And then I've also finished 3 series. So, let's just get into that, and I hope you enjoy the selection. Let's start with what I finished. So, on to what I have finished this month. There was only 3, which, that's normal. It happens. But, I like them. And there was a major one that finished. If you know it, you know it. And that is The Promised Neverland. Finally finished it with volume 20. A little bit thicker, a little bit chunkier than the rest of the volumes, though Demon Slayer had a similar sort of situation with that. I enjoyed Promised Neverland. I felt like it kind of started rushing a little bit at the end. Felt like it probably could have done a little bit more in the way of just... I would say that just stretched out a little bit longer and didn't just rush towards the ending. The beginning of Promised Neverland was great. Ending, not so much, but still good read overall. Especially in the beginning where the kids are just trying to figure out how to escape the farms and all that. But yeah, all in all, very good series. Would recommend. It's only 20 volumes, so it's not going to be like One Piece proportions, but it's all good. So yeah, go read it if you enjoy a little bit of thought process. I would think thought process, everyone has thought processes. Anyways, I would say go read it if you enjoyed especially early on Death Note. If you enjoyed Death Note, you'll probably enjoy Promised Neverland. So yeah, really good series. Ending, meh, but solid beginning as they are just trying to figure out everything that's going on. And then after that, I'm just like, okay, fine. I guess we're not using the brain as much, but still every once in a while. So, yeah. From there, I read a shorty, which is only containing 3 volumes, so not 20. And that is Days of Love at Seagull Villa. This is one of these 3-volume Yuris that I have that is very good, pretty standard for 3-volume Yuris and series. It's just how it goes. But I enjoyed it. I found it cute, and I hated. I'm pretty sure this person. Wait, let me. I fucking hated this bitch. I felt like she had some probably feelings for the Mayumi, the other woman, but never got into that, manipulated her. I fucking hated her. After she showed up in the 2nd volume, I fucking hated her right away, so I was just like, fuck off, bitch. But it ended happy in the end, which is great. I enjoyed. I loved. I was happy. So, yeah. Only 3 volumes. They're both, all 3 of them cost $12.99, so it's not going to break the bank. But yeah, solid. It was enjoyable. I think I read this after a heavy hitting one, like a heavy hitting volume. So it was all good. From there, a one-shot sort of deal where it was just 1 volume and it was a thick one. And if you were paying attention to the last 3 when I said Yuri, then you'll, I don't know, if you watch my, not watch, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just going to show you the manga now. And that is, the whole of humanity has gone Yuri except for me. Ooh. And this is only one, like, omnibus, I guess. It could technically have been 2 separate volumes, but, you know, just put it in one and it's all good. A little bit more expensive than other volumes, you know, with $22, but solid. It's essentially the story of a girl who woke up one day and all of a sudden the whole entire world was all females and she's like, what is happening? And yeah, and then she figures out, oh, I'm in a different parallel universe and trying to figure out how to get back home, but eventually falls in love. And also it dives into that whole like wanting to be normal type deal. Like, normal is overrated. Normal is just what everyone else says it is. And if you are not what normal is, you feel uncomfortable with it. But, you know, fuck them. If you are fine with who you are, then that's all that matters. And I really enjoyed it for that, like, thought process. Like, oh, yeah, being normal is overrated. Just be who you want to be. As long as you're not hurting anyone else, just be you. That is my advice that I could give. But it was solid. I liked it. I felt happy at points. Really happy at other points. I'm an easygoing guy. So, yeah. So, these were the 3 that I finished this month. It was great. Very nice. I felt happy. On to ones that I have started this month. Not going to be that much, but going to be a bit. So, onto the manga that I have started, the series that I've started this month. There were a total of 4, so not too big, but a bit, like I said I was. So, onto the first one. This one, continuing on the theme of Yuri, and that is I'm in love with the villainess, the manga. So, story-wise, the main character, Rei, is a normal, everyday salary woman who loves dating sims, and then wakes up in the world of her favorite game. But she didn't really care too much about any of the male, like, romantic partners, and was just like, yeah, fuck that, I love the villainess, and is just essentially just trying to get with the villainess the entire time, who is this lovely lady, which is Claire. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was great. It was laughing at points, just being like, yeah, she really likes you, and she doesn't like any of the other the guys, so it's great. I don't know how many volumes this is. I think the light novel, which is the original version of it, has like only 3 volumes off the top of my head. So I'm not 100% sure there. So yeah, it was good. I'm probably going to read more of it. Yeah, it's good. I liked it. The art was good. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Very standard, but sometimes you don't need crazy fucking art. I loved it. So, from there, the exact opposite. I won't be showing you any pages in it. You'll understand why. This is definitely for adults. And that is Booty Royale. Never go down without a fight. I can only show you this cover. It has the mature, and then parental advisory. Cannot show you anything else. I mean, I just grabbed it because I was like, ah, fuck it, why not? So, it's... the art, I can't show you. The story is kind of stupid, but I laughed a lot. Essentially, the main character, the lovely lady in front, Heaven... Okay, I'm gonna fuck up her name. Hebiru Misura. She's a Guevara artist, like, model. There we go. You could look that up. Don't be in the room with your parents when you do. And then eventually, like, I can't really talk about it. She is sort of tricked into going into the adult entertainment industry. And she's like, oh, fuck that. But don't worry, for most of her life, she is 18, don't worry, she has trained in martial arts, and she really just wants to be a singer. She's terrible at it, I'm just going to say that. And she proceeds to fight people so she doesn't have to go and do adult entertainment. So, yeah, it's stupid, it's funny, and this is all I can show of it. It's 2 volumes each, so it's not too crazy, but like I said, can't show anything of it. We're just going to move on. Moving on. Anyways, from there, one that I actually really enjoyed the anime of, and then I was like, oh man, I really want to read it. And then every store around me didn't have volume 1 for the longest time, and now they do. Yay! And now I'm trying to get the rest of the volumes. I think right now it's up to volume 15. Don't quote me on that. But from there, we have Hirayama, which is a great one. Very different than the last one. Really interesting story. It's essentially... oh, wow. Okay, let me read. Miria Kun is, really quiet and all that, and he, is seen as one of those quiet otakus that is just like, oh man, I really like that, otakus and all that. And then Hiro, fuck, I always get these names wrong. Hori-san. She's sort of seen as the popular girl and, is very different. Like, the whole entire series basically is just don't judge people by their appearances. They can be very different. Like, you could be in a very different situation than what other people see you as. Like, for the longest time, most people didn't know that I liked metal music because I was just like that quiet nerd, and I'm like, yeah, your boy likes listening to some metal. Like, recently, like Lorna Shore. Fucking, and To Return to Nothingness, good EP, very solid. Anyways, so it's essentially that and like teen love, and I really enjoy it. I have up to volume 3 right now on the pile that I will eventually get around to reading to. Hopefully this month in October, but I'm not 100% sure when I'm going to get to that. But really solid, and absolutely funny at other points. Just like really great. Didn't expect how funny it was going to be when I started watching the anime, and the manga does not disappoint. So, yeah. From there, though, we have one that I randomly picked up, didn't really read. I thought it was like a side story of another series that I've read, but turns out it's a what if story type deal, and that is Bungo Stray Dogs Beasts. So, Bungo Stray Dogs, if you don't know that series, I have a manga talking about it. It is a very good series if you can find the manga of it, but essentially, quick synopsis if you don't want to watch that. People like author people named after authors and stuff have powers based off of their famous works. And in the series, there is the Armed Detective Agency, and then also the Port Mafia, and then other type of deals. Now then, in the story, let me see, okay, how am I going to explain this? Essentially, there are two characters in the Bungo Stray Dogs story. One, I'm gonna fuck up their names. Otaku, I think, Taga. What? And then Ashushnikamajimi. Their names are going to be up on screen. One was in the Port Mafia. The other one was in the Armed Detective Agency. And what if instead of this lovely boy, Otaku, this man, what if instead he wasn't taken by Danzai into the Mafia before Danzai switched over to the Armed Detective Agency, and it's sort of like a what-if story, and, like, the two are constantly, like, throughout the series, then, like, if you watch closely, they have very similar situations, like, one decision they could have switched, sort of deal. And that's what this manga is about. And it's really good so far. Granted, I don't know how different it's going to be. Granted, it's already extremely different. And it's not going to be following the main plot, so you can grab this without being confused about what's happening, because it's like a retelling of the story, but if certain circumstances were switched. So, all in all, really good. Really solid, and yes. So, that was what I started this month. Now on to what I continued reading this month. Alright, onto manga that I've continued reading. Granted, again, this is not all of them, or else we would be here all day. This is only a select few that I would like you to understand, sort of like the feel of what I'm reading. So first off is My Dress Up Darling, which is the story about this guy, Wakana, who is sort of like, I don't remember the name of the doll, but it's sort of like those Japanese dolls that you paint and they're wood and all that. He's really into that, and sort of meets this girl one day after she sees it and is like, oh man, this is really cool. Who is named Mirin, who is the main girl on the front, who really likes cosplay. And essentially it's about the story of them, figuring out, because she really likes cosplay, but is terrible at, making clothes and stuff. But Wakane, is the doll maker and stuff, and he knows how to sew, and as a result, it's like, yeah, I can definitely do this. And it's essentially the growing connection between these two, as well as me learning about fucking how to sew. But that's besides the point, as well as cosplaying. Oh man, that happens a few times where I'm like, man, I feel like home ec failed me. But that's just the American public education system in a nutshell. Anyways, it's really good. I liked it. The cosplays that they do are great, and it's one of those situations where I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. Now then, want to show some art that's sort of like an example. It's really good. And I would like more people to, read it. It's great. It's also, at points, a little bit risque because, it has that mature rating. And then also the parental advisory. So, yeah, I really like it. It's great. Teaches me about cosplay. And some sewing techniques that my public education failed me to learn. But that's normal for America. That's kind of sad when I think about it. Anyways, I think I've talked about the next series a few times on these manga logs, but I'm not 100% sure. And that is High Score Girl, which essentially is a weird look back at old arcade games in the 90s, and specifically before I was born. This volume took place in 1995. The year I was born. So I was like, oh damn, that's fucking crazy. But it's essentially the story of damn it, where's it? Where's the name? Oh man, forget his name. I forget his name, the main character's name. I am stupid. I think it's Korika? No, don't think that's it. Why aren't you saying his name? No, it's Haru. I think it's how you pronounce his name. Haru and another girl who was the name I was thinking about. Damn it, no. Whatever. It's a good series, and you learn a lot more about video games and such. I'm sorry if I forget shit. I have a fuck ton of reading, and I'm sorry that I don't remember like I used to. I'm getting older, guys. Fuck. Anyways, it's really good. Has a lot more information about video games than I thought it was going to be. Granted, they can, because it's also published by Square Enix, which I didn't know was a publishing company until like a year ago. I was just like, what? Since when? But it is what it is. So, really good. I think... Oh, yeah. They also did My Dress Up Darling. So, yeah. Really good. If you liked old arcade games and like a romantic comedy blended into the mix, go ahead. Read it. It's good. There are 7 volumes out for it right now, I think. I own 7. Only gotten around to reading 6. But anyways, also published by the great old Square Enix, the next series that I've read. Oh man, I forgot to take off the sticker. I do that too many times. Just don't worry about this. I'm not going to edit it out. I'm going to let you wallow in what I'm going to be talking about next. Could be anything. Could even be a manga. There we go. Gonna throw that on the ground and then forget about it and then be like, why is this on my foot later on? Anyways, the next one is the strongest sage with the weakest crest. And this is not an isekai, which I was somewhat shocked about when I first picked it up. It's essentially the strongest sage of all time in this world. There are 4 different crests. He really hated the crest that he got, but became the strongest of all time. It was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and be reincarnated in someone that hopefully has the crest that I'm looking for, which he did. And I think it was like 2,000, 3,000 years later. And the world became different, and instead of being like one of the strongest crests, it became like one of the weakest for some strange reason. But, Mathis, the main character, is like, fuck no, that's not how this is working. This is the strongest one. Fuck off. And it is essentially showing off to everyone as he's like, yeah, this isn't the weakest crest, you dinguses. So, it's really good. It's pretty funny, the one-ups that he does, and it's not like, oh man, it's an isekai, he's in a different world. Technically, you could say that he's in a different world with the passage of time, but it's really interesting, and I like it. And he also helps out other people that are in his group, and isn't just like, oh man, I'm gonna beat everyone. He's like, okay, you guys need to learn this. I'm not gonna show up all the time. Figure out what you can do with what you have. And yeah, really enjoy it. The art in it is kind of fun. and cool, and this kid is scary. Granted, when you remember that he's stupidly strong, it's understandable. So, go out, read it if you want. From there, we have one that I think a lot of people know about. So, I'm not going to try to explain the story. I feel like you know it. It's JoJo's. I finally got around to picking up the rest of Part 2. I haven't got around to reading the rest of Part 2, but I was able to read Volume 2. What can I say? It's JoJo's. Can I explain the plot of JoJo's? Sometimes. Not all the time. I mean, I didn't know there was a second timeline, and that happens in the after Part 6 is that there's another timeline, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I don't know. It's a great series. If you want to go read it, go read it. It's stupid at points, and funny at points, and really awesome at other points, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, you know, there's just Rio Speedwagon helping out... fucking helping out JoJo defeat Dio Brando. God damn. Why did you... All the characters are named after bands and shit. They're just like, what the fuck is happening? I really like it. JoJo's is a great series. I will eventually pick up the Part 3 whenever I get around to it, but yeah, really good. That's all I have to say. Also, really enjoyed that there are hardcovers. This is giving it the respect it deserves. Really solid. And I can't explain the plot of JoJo's. It's convoluted at points and weird at other points. Anyways, from one that I really want to recommend, and one that's going to be ending in January, if I believe. I think it said so at the very... the final volume is going to be the next volume is going to be the final volume. So, and that is Love Me for Who I Am. This is really great. It's essentially follows the character Magamu. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but they are a non-binary person in Tokyo that works at a cross-dressing cafe. They also present feminine, but they are non-binary, and it's just really, really friendly to the LGBTQ community, and I really enjoy it. Just, you know, it doesn't shy away from some topics that happen within the community, and it also is sad at points, especially at the end of this volume, and I just want everyone to be happy in it. And as well as me just saying, you're welcome. You're welcome to my channel. You are valid. That's what I'm trying to say. You are valid in any sort of situation. No matter who you are welcome, and this is a safe space. Like, I am not going to judge you. And I want you to understand that this is a good series, but also that if you are in the LGBT plus community, you are valid, you are loved, and I want you to be happy with your life. Because, you know, I'm happy with my life, even though most people are just, even if some things in my life are not great, or what have you. I just want you who are watching this to understand that you are valid. So, yeah. On that heavy note, just go out and buy it. It's only 5 volumes. Going to be 5 volumes, 4 volumes right now. It will hit you hard, but at the same time, it's great. So, yeah. These were some of the more stuff that I was reading this month. So, I guess I'll go on to the closing thoughts. But again, you're valid, and you're always welcome on my channel. Thank you. Now to close out the video. Alright, that was the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry at the very end it got a little bit heavy, but I just wanted to get my point across. You're valid. And you're welcome to be on this earth. No one should judge you. That's it. Anyways, if you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like. If you have had interesting manga that you read this month, go down, leave it in the comments. If you want to comment on any of the things that I read this month, go ahead, do that. Yeah. If you want to see more of my face, hit subscribe. I do other stuff, like last week I did a live stream of Ender Lilies. It's a very good game, and I really enjoy it. So, yeah, I'll probably do that next week, maybe. Yeah. I think that's about it. Stay safe out there. It's hopefully the temperature's dropping soon. That would be great. I don't know. That's it. I'm terrible at closing out these videos. So, bye. Oh, yeah. Stay safe and read some manga. Bye.